We welcome you live to the iCar Pro Series Season number 5 combination race with the ARCA iRacing FedEx Series. It's, of course, Speed Week's race at Daytona, and we are live from the World Center of Racing tonight for the annual iCar ARCA combination race for Season number 5. And, of course, we have cars on the racetrack for qualifying here in Daytona. First car down the front straightaway is the 29 Jeremiah Gauntlet. Actually won the pole for his dual race last night. What a pole position that, of course, was. And through 1 and 2 he goes in that 29 machine. That's Toyota Camry. And here's Ashton Miller down the back straightaway. Then you got the 00, that's Christian Herklotz. Also got the 8 of Cameron Chandler. 48, that is Knox Thompson, I believe. And here's the 1, that usually driven by Zane Rahman, but tonight it's actually going to be driven by Christopher Lowell. Filling in for Zane Rahman as he makes his way through 1 and 2 here in qualifying. There's the 29, that is Richard Cherry. All right, of course, 1 lap to do it, as always, at these super speedways. Down the back straightaway goes Connor Asbell on his qualifying lap. Of course, it is day 4 of Speed Weeks. We had Grand National Series opening practice, or final practice, I should say, before. Now we have the ARCA/iCar race. Jeremiah Gauntlet so far top of the board. Miller second, Benson third. Here's the 69 of Andrew Stacey across the line. McMillan goes 4th. Herklotz is 5th. Here is the Donovan Hogan, the 88. Here comes Cole Clausen down the front straightaway to the line. There's Connor Asbell as well. Here comes the 90 of Eli Tomlin across the line. Clausen goes 3rd. There's the 1. Tomlin goes 8th. Asbell is 7th. So far, it's now Cherry top of the board in the 29. Now it's Christopher Lowell top of the board. Of course, usually driven that 1 car by Rahman. Cherry is 2nd. Here's Cameron Chandler pulling onto the racetrack. Max DiFilippi was just down the front straightaway in the 12th car. He is just, I believe, starting his lap. Cameron Chandler on the grass here. Got to be careful here. He's got to try to make a lap. Here comes Matthew White on the racetrack as well. So still a lot of strong contenders still to come. Here's the 20 down the front straightaway. And there's the 25. Still, it is Christopher Lowell on provisional pole. Payson Lindsay on the track now. Down on the apron on the inside. That was Max DiFilippi, if you could actually get to a good camera angle. He goes outside the top 10. Here's Matthew White. Here's the 20. That is, I believe that's Sean Rowe, if I'm not mistaken. Who is this? Yeah, Sean Rowe. Here comes Payson Lindsay heading down the front straightaway in that 99 machine. Okay. To the line he goes in the Choice Hotel scheme. First time he's ran this season. And Chandler all the way down in 20th. My goodness. Not a good lap at all for Cameron Chandler. Sean Rowe goes across the line. And he is 11th. Matthew White currently not on the right. There he is. Matthew White backs it down. Where is he? He's outside the top 10. He's all the way back in 12th. How about Christopher Lowell filling in for Zane Rahman? I know it says Zane Rahman on the scoring chart. He's going to be on pole here. What a lap. All right. Well, of course, we still have the 5-minute warm-up session to go here before the actual race gets underway. So Cameron Chandler, of course, your winner last week, your 2-time defending series champion. They're winning, of course, he also won And they're going to roll onto the racetrack. So got another little bit of a warm session going here as they head it back down into 1 and 2. And now rolling down this back straightaway here in Daytona. There is the 5 pole Clausen into the outside lane. Max Thompson in the 48. Here is C. Jervin shoving that 15 car of Aiden Holes down the back stretch through 3 and 4. Oh my goodness, we got a car going around. And into the wall hard goes Jeremiah Gauntly. And oh, they're starting to come together. Oh my goodness, what a terrible crash. Oh my God, multiple cars involved here. Oh, Sean Rowe in the wall hard. All right, I don't know what's going on with my ticker. If it says checker right now. We're currently in the warm-up session, so hopefully we have that fixed. Here they come onto the racetrack. Oh. All right. So I'm not exactly sure. Let me check real quick. We have what? If we can actually find it. All right, we have maybe a couple of minutes to go in this warm-up session. Not really sure why the ticker's not working, but all right. There's the 1. Your pole sitter, how about it? Usually driven by Zane Rahman, but of course, in the 1 car tonight is your pole sitter, Christopher Lull. What a lap he put down. All right. So, of course, some drivers have some work to do. Most notably, like we said, Cameron Chandler in the 8 qualifies 22nd tonight. That is so uncharacteristic, even at the super speedways. Of course, he won this combination race with the iCar Pro Series and the ARCA iRacing FedEx Series last season. So we'll see what he can do this season coming up. Just maybe a minute to go now in the warm-up session from Daytona. The race is coming up from the world's center of racing. Oh, in the wall. All right. Okay, so should just about be done here in Daytona for this warm-up session. Of course, iCar has that little warm-up session thing. So the race was originally supposed to be 40 laps tonight, like the usual ARCA race. For some reason, though, Cameron Chandler made a bit of a mistake. And once the session opened, he realized he actually made it 50 laps. So we get an extra 10 laps tonight, I guess. Thanks to Cameron Chandler. Oh, my goodness. Oh. We have a bit of a melee going on. All right, that'll do it, though, in the warm-up session. And we are coming up for race time at Daytona. 25 cars, which was actually the cap in ARCA. Obviously, there's no more cap anymore because of the iCar Series combination. But we are getting ready to go. Sun is setting from Daytona. Another Cameron Chandler special. We go midday to straight to sunset. So, yeah, I don't really know. Anyways, we are live from the world's center of racing tonight. Welcome to Daytona. This is the iCar Pro Series combination race with the NASCAR iRacing, or the ARCA iRacing FedEx Series, I should say. All right. We are ready to go in Daytona. Let's go through your starting order. So, of course, on the pole is going to be that one car, usually driven by Zane Rahman. Tonight, going to be driven by Christopher Lull. To his outside, going to be Richard Cherry in the 29. Then you got Jeremiah Guntley, your pole sitter and dual number 1 yesterday for the Cup Series. And to his outside is Ashton Miller. Cole Clausen, Bryce Benton, going to be starting here in 5th and 6th. Then, of course, you got Knox Thompson starting in P7 tonight. Ethan McMillan starts 8th. Christian Herklot starts 9th. And Donovan Hogan rounds out your top 10. You got the rest of the field rolling across the left side of your screen. As we get ready to go here tonight in Daytona for the iCar Pro Series and the ARCA iRacing FedEx Series combination race. Our seasonal combination race is just about to get underway. Last car on the grid, Juan Cobbs Jr. Gotta wait for him to roll off. Not really sure what he's doing, but he hopefully will be rolling off in just a second. Cars roll down the backstretch here in Daytona. Just about ready to come to green this time by. 25 drivers. Connor Asbell, for some reason, is going to be starting in the pits. So we're going to have 24 here on the grid. Finally, off goes the Juan Cobbs Jr. machine back there. Here we go. Of course, only one combination race for the ARCA iRacing FedEx Series and iCar Pro Series every season. It comes here in Daytona during Speed Weeks, and we are on this Thursday night week. So during Speed Weeks for day number 4. Here we go from the world's center of racing. This is Daytona. iRacing pace car going to make that hard left turn down to pit road. Christopher Lull, Richard Cherry going to lead this field to the green flag. We are underway in the iCar Pro Series, ARCA iRacing FedEx Series season number 5 race from Daytona. Green flags in the air. Oh my goodness, your pole sitter going around already. He somehow saves the race car. Everyone keeps it going straight, and we head down the back straightaway, still under green here in Daytona. Look at Ashton Miller all the way on the bottom. He's going to take the lead all of a sudden. Huge shove out of Bryce Benton. Of course, you can't push too hard in here in Daytona, or you're going to overheat. Obviously, what a save by that one car, but he's going to fall from the pole to 24th on about a half a lap. And I believe he might lose the draft back there. Leading lap 1, looking at McMillan coming to the outside. He's looking for the lead. Side by side, down through the tri-oval, and back into 1 and 2. What a chaotic first lap in Daytona. Ethan McMillan is going to take the lead on the outside lane. Got the 29 Richard Cherry lined up there. He's going to clear until second place. They're 3 wide behind them. With Matthew White on the bottom, you got Max DiFilippi up the racetrack, Cameron Chandler somewhere back there, and of course, I don't even know where he went. Juan Cobbs Jr. got around him. He is all the way 10 seconds back, way out of the draft in 24th place. So they head side by side back through 3 and 4. Asbell also on the racetrack, but out of the draft. After starting in the pits, look at the 90 Eli Tomlin nearly won his duel, maybe about a half straightaway away from doing that. Ended up getting turns on the final lap, and C. Jeremy pushes him out to the lead. To lap 3 we go in Daytona. the iCar Pro Series. The outside momentum with Donovan Hogan in that 88 car, getting pushed from Sean Rowe. Oh, way up the racetrack goes Hogan in the 88. He gets pushed up high, of course, by that 20 machine as they had 3 wide. Hogan looking to drop out of line. This is the biggest field for iCar of all time, by the way. 25 cars. In the iCar Pro Series. With the ARCA combination race, obviously, that's definitely helping. As they head through the tri-oval once again here in Daytona. Beautiful sunset. And we got some ARCA racing for you tonight. Look at Shaw. Oh, my goodness. Trent Wilkin nearly lost the back end of that 60 car. He makes contact, I believe, with Max DiFilippi, and he's going through the sucker hole in the middle. 3 wide. He's going to fall back. And Wilkin going to have to just thank God that he didn't actually crash there. Somehow they stay green and they stay straight, and we keep green again. They run back through 3 and 4 here in Daytona. Eli Tomlin continues to lead with C.J. Ehrman and Ethan McMillan lined up in line behind him. Of course, Ehrman. Oh, Sean Rowe going around down the front straightaway. He gets slammed hard, and the caution is out. It's the 25 also involved. And Payson Lindsay gets a little bit of a piece of it, and the first yellow of the night is out. It's for Sean Rowe, spinning in front of the field. Somehow only maybe 1 or 2 other cars involved, but that 25 car of Eddie has big front end damage. Let's take a look at what happened. Bring out this opening caution of the night. So of course, Sean Rowe, Max DiFilippi on his bumper. Let's see, it was just a bad push, obviously, to the back of the 20, and then up, nowhere to go for the 25 car. Payson Lindsay nearly got a piece of it. John Butler has to step on the brakes. Everybody else tries to avoid. Let's ride along with the 25 of Eddie, who got big damage, probably the worst of that. Sean Rowe, definitely the second worst. Just minding his own business there. He got the 20 and just nowhere to go. Nothing you could do there. Payson got a little bit of contact, but looks mostly okay. Obviously, it was just a bad push from Max DiFilippi to Sean Rowe. That's very unfortunate early in this race. Not what you want to see. We'll look from the blimp. Yeah, obviously, the DiFilippi leading second car in the outside lane. Let's see. Just bad push, obviously, and around goes Sean Rowe down the front straightaway, gets slammed. Luckily, most other cars able to avoid this accident, and that puts us under our first caution of the night here in Daytona on lap 5. Sean Rowe's got pretty significant damage to that 20, so I would not expect anyone to pit. We got Max DiFilippi actually going to pit. Same thing with Trent. Look at a lot of cars coming to pit road. What was I saying? My goodness. On lap 5. Maybe about 10 or so cars come to pit. And one of them, of course, is Cameron Chandler, and then you got Matthew White involved as well. And Ashton Miller, who led some laps early. Fuel only for these guys, probably just trying to top up the best they can. I don't think this would get you to the end on fuel. It's only lap 6, but I'm not exactly 100% sure. We'll just have to wait and see how the rest of the race goes. Obviously, pretty significant damage for Sean Rowe, as you saw in the 20. But he will try to continue under the first caution of the night here in Daytona on lap 6. He almost wrecked a few other times before that, my goodness, including your pole sitter, Christopher Lowell. All right. So, once again, under the yellow flag, we're of course going to have the shoes going down the front straightaway like usual here in Daytona. All right. Yeah, Eli Tomlin definitely looking for some redemption tonight. Obviously, he was heartbroken after getting turned down the front straightaway by Jacob Malone. Just the hard racing at the end of duel number 2, and ended up losing that race. Just so close to that first career win in the league, but obviously that'll have to wait for another time. Could, though, be tonight. We'll see as we come to the shoes. And restart on lap 8. On the race that was supposed to be 40 laps with Cameron Chandler. Doesn't really know how to set up a race properly, so it is actually 50, and now outside for the 90 of Tomlin. As they come to the shoes, a lot of cars go inside. Not as many go outside. Kind of interesting. Your leader going to go high. Sean Rowe, I believe, is out of the race. Yes, he is. First car out. Somehow Eddie is still going, but Rowe isn't. This 25, I don't know how he repaired this thing. It's not going to be fast or anything, but he is going to still keep on going here. All right. So you prepare for this restart. It'll be Erdman and Tomlin to lead this field back to the green flag. We're rolling down this back straightaway. First going to be back under green on lap 8. So obviously I'm not exactly sure what the fuel window is looking like right now. We of course saw, what, about 15th on back come down pit road. A lot of more cars stayed out than pitted. Of course, some of the cars that pitted were damaged race cars from that accident. So we'll have to see. All right. Getting ready for this restart on lap 8 in Daytona. Still a long ways to go. The sun continues to set from the World Center of Racing in this ARCA iCar combination race for season number 5. This race usually never disappoints. We had an insane finish for the first ever race here with this new ARCA car. Of course, used to run this with the old Gen 4 style race car. All right, pace car is in. It's going to be Erdman and Tomlin on the front row and back to the green flag. 2 teammates up front. And definitely team orders there as Tomlin clears on the outside. Of course, early in the race, you would think everyone's going to have to be careful with the pushes tonight. Obviously, we saw that big push by Max DiFilippi on the outside that turned Sean Rowe around on the opening few laps. That brought out our first caution of the night. We'll see how this all continues as they head down the back straightaway. You got Richard Cherry in that 29 dropping high. Also got the 29 of Gauntly, and man, he's in the wall a little bit. My goodness. Ashton Miller behind him. 3 wide. Pole setter Christopher Lowell also trying to break inside the top 15 again after having that near wreck on the opening lap. Ooh, Tomlin, kind of a bad push by his teammate Erdman, and now you got the 29 of Cherry getting shoved once again by Bryce Benson to the outside lane. What a push from that 90, gets him clear out to the race lead. Now the 48 of Knox Thompson going to lead the top. Richard Cherry now leading in Daytona with Bryce Benson on his back bumper. As they make the way through turns 3 and 4 once again from the World Center of Racing. Still only on lap 9 here in Daytona. Ashton Miller tries to make it 3 wide around the outside lane on the other 48 car. He's got Matthew White going with him. Now we got Connor Asveld going outside. He got saved by that caution flag, obviously. Probably would have been put a lap down if we stayed green. Thompson up there. Oh, now Asveld bails in the 48 car. Goes through the middle. I don't know if that's the greatest move or not because he's got no help besides Donovan Hogan trying to get a run behind him. They continue to race 3 by 3. A little bit further back. Top 6 or so cars, single file. Here they go down the back straightaway. So you got the 48 of Thompson once again to the outside. Cameron Chandler trying to break inside. And now you got a battle for the lead between Knox. Oh my goodness, what was he doing? Eli Tomlin, that was probably the worst block I've ever seen in my life. And he collects Cole Clausen and Connor Asveld. Christian Herklot's involved. I don't know if I saw that wrong, but oh my goodness, that was a terrible block. And we have multiple cars destroyed. Cole Clausen, Tomlin himself, the 78 of Connor Asbell. Oh my gosh, Sean Rowe flying in. He actually did not DNF. They got the car back on the racetrack. Look at the free pass here, but my God, what was that? You got to look at what happened there. I don't know. I mean, what on earth was that? So you got Tomlin on the outside lane, Cherry on the bottom. Tomlin got a good shove to the outside. I don't know if it was just a bad push. Like, well, I don't know. Maybe that's netcode. I'm not sure. If that's not netcode, that is the worst block I think I've ever seen. Just being completely honest. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know. Cherry just had a car straight in front of his lap. Let's ride along with the 29 car here through this accident. I'm not really sure. It's not. It's only lap 11. My God. I don't really know. Part of me thinks that's somehow netcode, but I'm not quite sure. I want to believe it's netcode, but I don't know. Hopefully it is, because man, if that's not netcode, oh, I don't even know what to say. That's the definition of not clear. I mean, it's not even close to clear. He's halfway alongside of him. Like, ugh, big hits all around though. Unfortunate bystanders all taken out. Cole Clausen, Connor Asbell, Donovan Hogan, Christian Herklotz with huge damage, and Eli Tomlin himself. Ashton Miller got a piece of it, and Juan Coppi Jr. as well back there. Well, we are under the caution here. Once again, we have cars coming down pit road. A lot of cars coming to pit. I believe all your leaders now, including the drivers that pitted earlier. Nobody stays out. So I'm not quite sure if this will get you to the end on fuel. We'll have to see. Fuel only for some of these drivers. And off pit road first going to be Irvin, second McMillan, third Benton, fourth Knox Thompson, fifth Cameron Chandler. Good stop for him as they roll off behind him. Some drivers taking tires, some electing not to. And huge damage there. The 5 car of Cole Clausen, he is destroyed. That is unfortunate for him. As we look through the order even more, you can see some of the other cars. I want to believe that's netcode. I just don't really know though. You can never really know for sure unless, like, there's certain proof from the driver's point of view. I mean, we can look real quick with Tomlin to see if we can see what the wheel is doing. Like, I'm not exactly sure. We're going to ride along with the cockpit cam of Eli Tomlin through this crash. Just watch his hands. Riding with Tomlin. He's behind Bryce Benton, got around to the outside lane. I mean, he is nowhere near clear. We'll see here. Yeah, it just turns down. I'm not really sure. Big hits all around. Man. That's unfortunate. Takes out probably 5 or so cars from that accident. So come to the shoes this time by. Well, that was certainly an interesting moment we just had. All right, caution is out for the second time tonight here at Daytona as they come to the choose. So obviously Eli Tomlin going to be out of the race because of that. He'll choose up. Just so unfortunate. Man, I've never seen something like that. Sean Rowe gets the free pass here. He'll be back on the lead lap and back on the racetrack as well. Actually, he's now still being considered a lap down. He's supposed to get the free pass. Not really sure why he's not. All right, only on lap 13. We'll restart on lap 14 here in Daytona. Just not a great way to start off there with that huge wreck. See if we can get some green flag running in here. All right. cars roll down the back straightaway, ready to come back to green. It's going to be C.J. Urban on the front row with Ethan McMillan for this restart. Have a good run so far for Cameron Chandler. Started 22nd up to 6th place. Of course, won this race last season. Won the last race at USA Speedway for the iCar Pro Series, that season opener. And, of course, back-to-back defending champion. Obviously, Cameron Chandler, by far the most successful driver in iCar. We get ready for this restart. Here we go, once again, from Daytona. Let's get this thing back underway. On lap 14. Even a restart now. Erdman can actually almost try to clear outside with Ethan McMillan. Both these drivers just lost their teammates. McMillan lost Clausen. Erdman lost the 90 VLI Tomlin. So we're going to have to work together with just random drivers now that are not inside of their team organization. As they head down this back straightaway. Ethan McMillan getting pushed outside by Knox Thompson in the 48. Cameron Chandler maybe trying to make a third line, but now going inside is McMillan. Now Cameron Chandler outside for the race lead in that A-car. Side by side with McMillan. What a run by Cameron from 22nd nearly to the lead of this race. Ooh, McMillan nearly comes up to the door of Cameron Chandler, but Chandler getting that good run around the outside to lap 15, and he's going to clear down on the bottom and take the lead in Daytona for the first time tonight. Double file behind them. You got the 15 of Holes in the outside lane, the 12 of Max DiFilippi. Heading back to 3 and 4. Holes good. What a big shot by that 12 car of DiFilippi and Aiden Holes, the former Greg Holes, will take the lead. And now the 12 of DiFilippi all over his back bumper, trying to come outside once more. Side by side for the lead in Daytona. Now a new set of drivers up front. Got a couple of cars pulling out of line. There's Erdman and Andrew Stacy back there. You got Wilkin pushing outside, and out to the inside goes Richard Cherry. The 12 car tries to make a block. Now he's going to get split 3 wide. Steve Levy might fall through the middle with Trenton Wilkin going outside. And oh my God! Oh, they save it somehow. My God. Somehow they almost went around, but they do save it. Brandon Piper now going to give the 12 car DiFilippi a bit of a shove. Wilkin was not clear, then realized it. Luckily, it didn't come all the way down. Now here comes Max DiFilippi in the 12. Once again to that outside lane. Help from Brandon Piper. Matthew White up there, as well as the Cherry leading car is on the bottom, but he's got Max DiFilippi. He's got company on the outside lane. Big shove up high. DiFilippi gets clear, now goes down bottom in front of Cherry to take the lead. And now you got the 48 and Brandon Piper. Help from Matthew White on the outside. They're might get clear as well. And now Piper could clear low, and he's going to think about doing it. Will not. Will stay behind Matthew White. Now he does do it. Look at this racing at the front of the field here in Daytona. It is all back and forth so far. Side by side, heading through 1 and 2 again. They head on the back straightaway. Now there's the 25 of Eddie. How about Eddie tonight? He, of course, was involved in that early race crash. I thought he was done. I seriously did. And he's running in second. How? We're only on lap 18. I don't know how he got that damage repair so quickly. And is up here inside the top 5. Battling for the race lead right now. With Matthew White continuing, currently now leading, up in that top lane. to go back down bottom. Become yet another leader of this race. Back and forth at the front of the field. Now you got Eddie on the outside lane with the push. His first ever iCar start. Oh, Matthew White! He's going to get turned around. You got a car on the wall. That's your pole sitter, Christopher Lowell. Matthew White saves it. Lowell is big damage, but he's out of the way for the most part. And we are going to, I believe, stay green. But Christopher Lowell is destroyed, and that is his night over. But look at this whole group now. It's all messed up. Everyone lost momentum. We're not even in a pack right now. Everyone's just trying to figure out what's going on. They're going to get back together. Going to have huge runs behind them. Oh, Matthew White nearly got turned around again. They're trying to get single file back there. They're double file up here. Now they're, I don't know. My God. Now that second group falling back to about, what, 1.8 seconds. I don't know if they're going to be able to catch back up. We have a third group, maybe even a fourth group behind them. And now the top 6 cars? Yeah, 6 cars, single file up front. And you got the second group in line, then you got a third group, 3 cars, and even a fourth group back here, including Richard Cherry and the 94 Birdman. Things just changed quickly here in Daytona on the 20th lap of the race. Now we are single file with about a couple of packs. Oh, we have nearly a crash. Matthew White almost went around there. Again, he saves it. Now the second group trying to get some more momentum. They could catch up. Bryce Benton way out in front. They're side by side with each other, though, down the front straightaway. I mean, they got to get single file here if they even want to have a chance of catching up to the front of the field. That's what they're trying to do right now. Trying to find a place in line. And they will. Good, well executed by these guys. Matthew White, though, might fall up this lead draft. Got Donovan Hogan rejoining the track in the 88. Now they're going to have to make up this 3-second deficit with your leader of the group, Andrew Stacy, to these 6 up front. All this, of course, started by that huge stack up. Oh, no, they're going to wreck again. Hard on the wall goes the 29 of Gauntly. Payson Lindsay's got big damage, and the caution is out again for the 3rd time tonight. Single file, they somehow wreck. Not something you see every day. And Jeremiah Gauntly is pretty much destroyed. Let's take a look at what happens. Let's bring out another caution tonight. While being single file, trying to obviously chase up to the field. So Gauntly in the 29 behind the 69 of Andrew Stacy. Got Payson Lindsay 3rd in line behind him. Let's see. Oh, just turned Stacy around and then he gets hooked by the 99 of Lindsay. They're obviously pushing really hard to try to catch up to the lead group, but I don't know about that. My God. Let's look from the blimp to get a better angle. I mean, 29 is all over the back bumper of Andrew Stacy. He has given him a ride down in the 3 and 4. And then obviously Stacy off corner exit. Yeah, that's just where it went away. And then Gauntly to check up. Then Payson Lindsay, nowhere to go. Slammed straight into him after hitting the back of the 29 of Gauntly. Right along with Jeremiah through this crash. Just obviously got Andrew Stacy out of control. Stacy actually ends up saving the race car, though. Yeah, I mean, misjudged that, obviously, and goes around down the front straightaway. Bringing out now our 3rd caution of the day. Been a chaotic race, and we have cars pitting again. So this should, I would assume, give you the fuel to the end of the race. We have a couple cars staying out, but I believe they're lap cars. All right. Here comes everybody down pit road. Payson Lindsay's got huge damage. Fuel only for a couple of these guys. Splash and go. Payson's going to try to get his damage repaired. We've seen front-end damage be repaired, of course, most notably by that 25 of Eddie. So Payson's race, I don't think, is over. Gauntly's race, I think it probably is because of how hard he hit the wall. I'm surprised that car didn't blow up or anything. And Bryce Benton going to roll out 12th. Matthew White's still sitting here on pit road in the 18. Maybe a bit of damage. You got nearly turned around about 3 times over the last few laps. So probably what happened there. Sean Rove gets the free pass and gets back on the lead lap. Payson Lindsay, I'm not really sure why he's not pitting here. I don't know what he's doing. That car is destroyed. He cannot lead it back like that, obviously. Might see Hogan maybe stay out Herklot's 8 laps down, though. It doesn't really matter at that point. They would get the waiver, the waiver rounds, but they're still like going to be 7 laps down. So Pace and Lindsay, big damage to the front end of that race car. So surprisingly, not pitting though. Well, it's been a wild one in Daytona so far on lap 23. All right. And Pace and Lindsay comes down pit road in that 99 machine. As we come to the shoes. Once again. So we're going to restart at halfway on lap 25 in Daytona. So this has been an absolutely wild one so far from the World Center of Racing. My goodness, I don't know what to think about this. Multiple crashes, 3 cautions so far tonight, multiple saves. They are just all over the place. Man, it's been wild, to say the least. As we get ready for this restart here in Daytona once again. So we got, I guess, a little bit of green flag running in, but it wasn't clean green flag running, I guess. Obviously had near crashes, and then we eventually did crash. iCar and ARCA definitely could both get chaotic at times, and we're seeing that tonight. There's always kind of gets like this during speed weeks and these shorter races. A lot on the line tonight for an iCar Pro Series win and an ARCA win. We get this 2 wins in 1, I guess you could say. Cameron Chandler going to go back-to-back in this race. As we get ready for the restart yet again. It's going to be Knox Thompson on the outside lane. Cameron Chandler on the inside as we come back to green in Daytona. Back underway here once again on lap 25. Knox Thompson on the outside lane. My goodness, the 25 of Eddie got sideways, almost out of control. Obviously, he saves the race car as they head back into 1 and 2. And going to be rocketing down this backstretch yet again. Lined up tight side by side for the lead. So we'll see. Maybe they are going to elect to stay double file for a little bit. Oh, no. We got cars coming outside now. There goes C.J. Erdman with Matthew White as they head down the straightaway. My God. And he got a car on the apron currently. That's the 90 or 69, I should say, of Andrew Stacy. He drops out of the way, though, and will fall to the back. Now look at Max DeFilippe to the inside of Knox Thompson. Thompson covers him off. Outside now being led by that 25 car of Eddie. Head down the backstretch yet again in Daytona. Cameron Chandler again to the outside lane. Definitely is the favorite coming to this race, even though, of course, it's a super speedway and anything can happen, but just so good at these super speedway races. Has a win in each NASCAR iRacing FedEx League Series at Daytona, besides IndyCar, but that, of course, runs at the road course. Side by side, heading down the front straightaway, and Chandler going to lead that lap across the line. Getting shoved by the 25 of Eddie, who's going to move down to the inside and will look for the race lead. Ashton Miller now trying to push Cameron Chandler on the top. Brandon Pfeiffer lined up there as well. Same thing with Ethan McMillan. Good push from Miller to Chandler. They run down the back straightaway. Matthew White, fifth in line. He had an extended pit stop, already up to 8th. Oh, around goes Eddie. He saves the car for now, but merges back up in the traffic, and somehow nobody else involved. Another great save. This time it's by Eddie, and now got Matthew White to the inside. The field is all jumbled up now. A lot of momentum lost. They're going to try to get it all back together here. Pfeiffer goes to the bottom in front of Matthew White. What a save once again, this time by Eddie in the 25, but he might lose the draft. Miller pushing the 8 car of Cameron Chandler as they head down the back straightaway. Eddie all the way back there, about already 6 seconds back. To the inside goes CJ Urban with Max DiFilippi on that bottom lane. Bottom line coming with momentum. Cameron Chandler continues the lead, though, here in Daytona. Been a wild one so far tonight in iCar. And we're coming to 20 to go in 2 times around. So this thing probably going to get even more wild, if I had to imagine. Erdman now drops in line on the outside lane in front of Brandon Pfeiffer. Now inside, falling back 3 wide, split in the middle is Matthew White in the 18 car with Max DiFilippi back there. They come back around through turns 3 and 4. You got Bryce Benton trying to get in front of Knox Thompson. The 03, that is Juan Cobbs Jr. now up front. Now to the inside, look at CJ Erdman on the bottom. Help from Brandon Pfeiffer in the 48 car. Ashton Miller shoves Cameron Chandler back to the lead, though. Three wide, a little bit further back. Heading back through 1 and 2. Chandler trying to control this race. Bottom lane losing momentum. You got that second group back there. They're trying to catch up with these guys racing side by side. They have a chance at it. 3 wide almost. Look at Matthew White to the inside trying to block. He's now going to split 3 wide in the middle. Andrew Stacey on his bumper there, 3 by 3, heading back in the 3 and 4. That second group has a good chance to try to catch up, but they stay single file. They only have 4 cars, though. But we will see. Matthew White trying to go outside again. Still, though, 3 wide, trying to get back to double file. Andrew Stacey tries to block his teammate, the 94 of Urban. He's trying to get in line somewhere. Eventually he does. Urban now might be left out to dry on the bottom. Got Bryce Benton and the 12 of Max DiFilippi to help. Single file, first about 6 cars, but look at this shot from Urban to the back of the 9 car, and now you got the 18 of Matthew White dropping on the bottom to try to gain momentum. How much more wild and chaotic can this race get? We'll see in maybe under 19 laps time. Cameron Chandler has a good, loyal pusher to his rear bumper. That's the 79 of Miller. But look at Matthew White working his way to the bottom. These are the 2 all-time wins leaders in the iCar Pro Series, and they're up front 1-2, side by side. Urban giving that shove to the 18 of White. Outside still being carried by Cameron Chandler and Ashton Miller. That second group back there has, of course, caught up to this first group because we're single file, and these guys are side by side drafting each other. So Wilkin back up there with a couple of other drivers, a couple of other Ford Mustangs with, I believe, Donovan Hogan as well. Oh my goodness! Bryce Benton nearly got turned. He saves the race car. Max DiFilippi as well, trying to save it down the back straightaway. And it might get dicey here in a bit. A lot of cars going back to the bottom. Oh my God, DiFilippi trying to block Donovan Hogan. To the outside goes Juan Cobbs Jr. in that 13 car. All right. Now look at the 29 of Cherry going on the bottom. He is there to the bottom of this racetrack. Back through 1 and 2 they go here in Daytona. Still got Cameron Chandler leading that outside lane. Sorry about that. As they head down the back straightaway yet again, trying to go side by side, back to 3 and 4. Cherry on the bottom of Cameron Chandler, door to door. Matthew White giving Cherry a shove, heading through the tri-oval, coming to 16 laps to go this time by in Daytona. Oh, you got 2 cars in the wall back there. Just saw that out of the corner of my eye. No caution. It's Brandon Pfeiffer and Ethan McMillan, both destroyed. I just saw that out of the corner of my eye. There was no yellow. We keep the green here. For whatever reason, iRacing doesn't throw the caution there. That's definitely big. Ethan McMillan is having a good run up at the front early, and then Pfeiffer as well wasn't having a bad run at all either. So now here you got CJ Ehrman dropping back to the inside with Richard Cherry in that 29 car. As they head down the backstretch yet again here in Daytona. Still, look at Ehrman on the bottom getting pushed by Cherry. He might get there. He's going to get to the inside. Can he clear up on Cameron Chandler? Will he elect to do that? And maybe take control of the outside lane. No, he's going to drift up there. He will block Cameron. Cameron has to step on the brakes almost in front of Ashton Miller. Kind of checks up this whole group. Heading back through the tri-oval with 14 to go in Daytona. Oh, Chandler going to maybe bail on Ehrman. Now he's 3 wide in the middle. And nobody going to help CJ Ehrman, who will just fall back through the middle of the field and will fall outside the top 10. We'll find a place in line behind Aiden Holes. And look at that block to the outside. Matthew White and the 29 of Cherry. Cherry, oh my goodness. And now you look at the car of Cameron Chandler back to the bottom. Ashton Miller goes with him. There's Bryce Benton. Cherry takes the lead back in 3 and 4. What a race at the front of the field. Now here comes Cameron Chandler back to the top. We would be at 3 to go if Cameron Chandler knew how to set up a race properly and actually put it in 40 laps instead of 50. But we have 13 to go right now instead. More racing, I guess that means. They're trying to side draft each other side by side for the lead of this race. You only have 11 cars, though, lead lap cars at least, in this main group. On the wall almost a little bit. I believe that was Max DiFilippi. They head through the tri-oval. DiFilippi 4th in line. He's been aggressive all night long on that outside lane. And he's going to pull to the bottom there with the 60 car of Trent Wilkin in front of Cherry. Now Max DiFilippi teammates to Cameron Chandler. How will that go at the front of the field? What a race we're setting up for here in Daytona. Coming just to 11 laps to go from the World Center of Racing. This race always obviously very, very chaotic once it gets to the end of it. We've had chaos all day. It's been a little bit more calm, but they're 3 wide when I say that. With Kirklott's the lap car on the outside lane in this main group. Matthew White, a huge shove to the back of Cameron Chandler. Has to, of course, back off of him. You can't overheat your race car too much or it will, of course, blow up. We've seen that at the front of the field at these super speedway races, and it's not pretty. We've seen it with a much bigger group of cars at the front of the field than what we have right now as well. And you can just imagine how that all goes. 10 laps to go in Daytona. Of course, this race only halfway of the Daytona 500 on Saturday. Well, it's supposed to be less than halfway. But Cameron Chandler, once again, doesn't really know how to set up a race properly as they head down the back straightaway. Now it's CJ Urban at the bottom of the racetrack in that 94 car. He'll go ahead of Max DiFilippi. Got Trenton Wilkin in the 60 car. The 29 of Richard Cherry on the bottom. Good trial. You can just feel as the laps continue to wind down, you'll feel the intensities begin to ramp up even more than what it is right now. Matthew White almost goes down bottom in that 18, and now look at Erdman going side by side with Chandler for the lead of this race. With 9 laps to go in Daytona. Erdman trying to get a shove from DiFilippi down the backstretch. He'll look for that. He'll give him a shove through 3 and 4. These two, of course, former teammates at Questionable Motorsports. Then, of course, DiFilippi was let go by the team mid-season last season. Oh, my goodness. Chandler almost attempted to maybe block down low. I thought he was going to get put in the middle, but Matthew White stays on his bumper, pushing him once again through the triangle. You don't want to go anywhere. We are setting up for a fantastic finish with CJ Erdman coming back down low with 8 laps to go in Daytona in this ARCA iCar combination race. It's been a wild one so far, and it is just about to get even more wild. Ooh, Max DiFilippi in the 12. My goodness, nearly got out of shape there. Watch out maybe for Trenton Wilkin late in the race. Maybe Cherry can make a late charge back to the front of the field. How about Knox Thompson lined up 3rd on the outside lane? Then you got the lap car, the 00 of Herklotz making things interesting. And Ashton Miller trying to split him 3 wide middle. This could get rough back here with DiFilippi trying to block. He's 3 wide in the middle, making contact with multiple cars. Oh, Knox Thompson tries to get in front of the Miller machine. And Herklotz kind of just in the way and annoying these leaders. Up front, it's still Cameron Chandler leading. Bryce Benton goes bottom. They're going to need to build more momentum throughout the rest of this pack, though. Lap car's in the way, and that's a damaged one. Jeremiah Gauntly somehow still on the lead lap. Ooh, outside gets checked up, and they're nearly going to almost wreck it, but they all save it for now. Coming to 6 to go. That bottom led by the 9 of Benton. Of course, bottom as this run has gone on hasn't been as strong as the top lane. Top lane able to carry that momentum, and we've seen them been pretty dominant on this run so far. Watch that push on the bottom with Bryce Benton and the 94 of CJ Erdman. intensity beginning to ramp up even more. Now just 5 laps to go from Daytona. Obviously, once the laps to go, it gets in single digits. Drivers know it's time to go. And it is definitely time to go now in the iCar race at Daytona. But can anyone beat Cameron Chandler, the 2-time defending iCar Pro Series champion up front? Continues to control this race with Matthew White on his bottom, and the 48 and Max Thompson there lined up third on the top. Bottom continues to go away. Almost getting single file here. Drivers are going to have to pull out a line once the time is right. There you go. There we go. And that's the lap car actually leading that. Look at Ashton Miller trying to split Thompson 3 wide. Thompson goes to the bottom. Now the 15 holes goes back outside. Might actually gain a couple of positions with the bottom, getting checked up by Thompson joining. Urban falls all the way back inside of 11th place. Chandler goes through the middle for a second. They're catching the slow car of Gauntly. Hopefully he just gets out of the way. Leader's coming. Obviously huge damage on that 29 machine. Oh, hopefully he judges this right. They're on the outside. They're going to have to maybe split him 3 wide. Sherry. Oh, he's going to go to the bottom. Thank God. All right. That was going to get very, very interesting. We're coming to just 3 laps to go now. To go in Daytona. Who is gonna win this race? Can anyone beat Chandler up front? They're trying to get momentum started back there. Oh, look at Andrew Stacy making it 3 wide down the middle. There goes Cherry, there goes Holes. Everyone making moves. They gotta start pushing big time. It is getting dicey back here. DeFilippi goes low, Erdman goes low. Now they're gonna be side by side with Matthew White, even Cameron Chandler. Chandler checks up the top. Oh my goodness, Max DeFilippi nearly got turned around. Coming back through the trial. Max DeFilippi looking for career win number 2 in iCar tonight. Won at Talladega last season. And he's on the bottom. Oh, CJ Erdman. He saves it in front of Bryce Benton. That could have been really, really bad. Lap and a half to go. Down the back stretch they head in Daytona. 3 wide, further back. This is getting dicey back here. My goodness. Oh, in the wall goes Knox Thompson, the 48. Coming to the white flag this time by. They are not lined up behind them. They're 3 wide. Not quite sure what's going on back here. It's become to 1 to go in Daytona. 3 by 3 behind them. Top 3 trying to pull away. Final lap. Cameron Chandler trying to go back-to-back for iCar wins this season. Through 1 and 2 for the final time in Daytona. Look at Cherry on the bottom. What kind of run is he going to have? As they roll down the back straightaway, Chandler goes to block. Final time down the back. Cherry pushing the back of that A-car. 3 wide, further backs. They head through 3 and 4 for the final time. Cherry gonna go to the outside. He is there for the lead. Side by side, Erdman gonna go outside. They bail on the take car of Chandler. They're nearly wrecking. They are 3 wide. Look at CJ Erdman to the outside lane. Through the tri-oval, CJ Erdman is gonna win in Daytona. What a finish. As they wreck further back. Erdman somehow splits up to the outside lane, pulled it perfectly. Everyone else lost momentum, started wrecking, and Erdman is going to win this race. His 2nd career NASCAR iCar Pro Series win, 1st in ARCA, 1st of the year for CJ Erdman. What a win for him. Matthew White ends up 2nd. Cameron Chandler leading through 3 and 4. The final lap will finish in 10th after getting turned around in the final lap. What a finish. CJ Erdman going to win at the World Center of Racing in iCar. I mean, I thought they had nothing for them. They were 3 wide with letting the top 3 pull away at the final stages of this race, but somehow, someway, Erdman comes back and is going to take victory tonight. Cherry finishes 3rd, Wilkin 4th, Holes 5th, Benson, Miller, Thompson, DeFilippi, Chandler rounding your top 10. And Erdman going to burn this thing to the ground. What a victory it was for him tonight. All of his teammates coming to celebrate with him as well. Wow, what a win. We'll look at post-race interviews coming up. We'll have some replays as well on an incredible, insane iCar Pro Series race tonight in Daytona. C.J. Erdman now burning it down on the front straightaway. There he is. What a race, what a win for Erdman. He gets the job done tonight in Daytona. And that will do it for the iCar Pro Series. We'll look at some post-race replays coming up real quick before we head to post-race interviews. So, of course, let's honestly, real quick, ride along with Erdman down the back straightaway for the final time. That's where we're going to actually start off. Of course, lined up behind Cherry, giving him a shove. Matthew White stuck on the outside lane as well. Back to 3 and 4. 3rd in line. Cherry actually goes outside. Then final time for 3 and 4. He gets such a huge run. He's going to follow in line there. And then finds a gap to the outside of Cherry. Somehow, someway, as they start direct behind him and wins this race by over a car length. Big hits all the way back there. We're going to have to take a look at what ultimately went on back at the back of the field for that wreck. Let's look from the blimp. Of course, Cameron just lost the race there at the end. Nothing he could really do. Had no momentum. They were 4 wide here, wrecking across the line. Big, huge wreck. And watch this hit Bryce Benson takes. Oh, man. Big crash back here. It's right along with Bryce Benson through this accident. Bryce ends up actually finishing in 6th still for all of that. Bryce was actually stuck on the outside lane with no help whatsoever. So it would have been even. It would have. Oh my God. Sorry. It would have been even worse if he didn't have that crash. So I know he wrecked, but he actually gained spots doing it. So something you don't see every day. Just getting freight trained on the inside lane. Probably felt absolutely hopeless. Finds a place in line, and there they go. They are 4 wide, and then they start wrecking. He makes it through all those positions, and then eventually gets hooked hard into the wall. My goodness. And that will do it in Daytona. What a race for the iCar Pro Series, and what a day of Speed Weeks for day number 4. That will do it. All right, we have post-race interviews coming up here from Daytona International Speedway. And first of all, gonna be your winner, C.J. Erdman. C.J. Erdman, huge win for you guys tonight. What a win it was, of course. On the outside, you timed it absolutely perfectly. You took advantage of Cameron's run, then you got Cherry's run. You pulled it outside 3 wide, cleared them both, and you took victory. So just take me through that final lap, somehow getting around to the lead.
Yeah, that was we got a lucky run there. It was really hard to make the bottom work. The top was so dominant tonight, but I knew if I could get Cherry up there, I knew my best bet was to push him to the lead and hope Cameron tried to block, which he did, and then Cherry moved to the outside. And once I got to the outside of them, I was just hoping Matthew either wouldn't get to the back of Cherry or he would go with me, which he got loose behind me. I think they wrecked. So we just got kind of lucky with them not getting any help, but we had such a big run. Christian and Andrew and Aiden did a great job, or Greg, I guess, did a great job pushing all night, and we were able to get it done.
Yeah, so of course a huge win, though of course for you guys winning as the team in the iCar Pro Series tonight. But of course we got a big night of action coming up tomorrow with the Truck Series race and the Grand National season opener. Do you guys think you have any more momentum for the rest of this Speed Weeks to maybe get yet another victory coming up?
Well, hopefully, I mean, we were good in the duels last night, ran up front all night, and just didn't work out. But here we were able to. We weren't that great tonight, but we were able to be in the right position at the right time. So hopefully, we can keep the momentum going.
All right, CJ, well, big congrats on the victory here. Your second career win, both coming in insane fashion after the photo finish last season at Phoenix. And you win in Daytona tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow night for the Truck Series. Well, actually, first of all, Cup Series practice, and then, of course, the truck race after that.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, that was CJ Erdman. Coming up next, finishing in, let's see, finishing, I can actually go down the order. Finishing in sixth was Bryce Benson. Bryce Benson, you guys come home sixth, but without that accident, it probably would have even been worse because you had no help on the outside there on the final lap. Of course, you fell all the way back to almost 10th. Then they started wrecking you. Of course, we're involved in that crash anyways, but you still come home sixth across the line. Just take me through your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, I simply just can't make decisions on the last lap for some reason. We had a terrible decision last night in the duel, and yeah, I did it again tonight. I don't know why I made it through on the backstretch. I don't know what the thought process was looking back. That was really stupid. I really should have just stuck in line and just been third in line on the top, and like one of us on the top probably could have won the race. So that was just really stupid from me. And yeah, I'm a little bit mad at myself about it, but I mean, the crash definitely helped me. Holy voice crack. But the crash definitely helped me. I don't know. It was just that was really dumb decision from me. I mean, I guess maybe if I stayed in line, I might have gotten involved in that crash worse. But I don't know. Still, that was really bad decision. So I don't know. That was just really bad for me. But I guess I hopefully I learned my lesson this time, and hopefully don't do anything dumb like that in the next races and speed weeks.
Yeah, so of course, obviously this car, I guess you can say, I guess is the most similar to maybe the truck, maybe the Xfinity car a little bit, or the Grand National car a little bit. So did you learn anything in tonight's race? Obviously, 10 more laps than originally scheduled, thanks Cameron Chandler, in this race here tonight to apply into the next upcoming races throughout the rest of the speed weeks.
Yeah, I think I'm more just learning to have like decision making, because I feel like I can make good decisions throughout the race, but when it comes to the final lap, I keep making just really dumb decisions. But I think that's really the biggest information I'm getting is just how the racing's gonna be, how aggressive people are gonna be on like the last lap, and I'm yeah learning when I should go forward and when I shouldn't, like if I should hang back and wait for them to wreck or all that stuff. I mean, that's just a bunch of information, and hopefully after all the information tomorrow, we'll be all set for the 500 on Saturday. So, yeah, we'll see what we can do tomorrow.
All right, Bryce. Well, of course, we'll see you coming up tomorrow night. First of all, for Daytona 500 final practice, and then of course the truck and Grand National races.
Yep.
Coming up next, Richard Cherry finished third. Richard Cherry, you guys ran at the front of the field tonight. Obviously, just not in the right place at the right time there at the end. You had a shot at the win, of obviously passing Cameron Chandler side by side with him on the final lap. Just you got dumped on the outside by Erdman, and he passed you guys both 3 wide. So, what was your point of view there on the final lap there?
You gotta listen to one in the room right now. It's really funny. They're crashing out over each other. It's crazy. I just made the move too early in turn 3. If wish I could have looked back at it and maybe done it like a little bit later, but then Cameron blocks the top. I don't know. I mean, I just want to repeat 3 was a freaking crazy cow. Everybody was a crazy cow there at the end. I never seen so many brain cells dropped on the racetrack.
All right. Well, of course. I mean, are we gonna see you in any more action throughout Speed Weeks? Obviously, you're gonna be eating sushi tomorrow.
Oh, maybe not. I mean, it's a win-win for me anyways. I either get to race or I either get to eat sushi, so
All right, Cherry. Well, enjoy your sushi tomorrow night, and hopefully we see you on the racetrack sometime soon.
I'm gonna be rolling out of the restaurant. Thank you.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah. All right. Anyways, coming up next is going to be no, it's hard because not everyone does an interview. Max Stiffley be finished in 9th. Max Stiffy, you guys come home in 9th place tonight. It was an all right run for you guys, I guess. Ultimately finishing in P9. I believe you got caught up in the accident like most of the other drivers there at the end did through the trial on the final lap. So obviously Sean Rowan, you had a bit of an incident. Looks like you gave him just a little bit of an offset push, turned him around. So can you give us maybe what your point of view was through there, and then obviously the final lap?
Yeah, me and him were talking a little bit like through the race after that, and he's not mad at me because if you look at the whole race, anytime you get to somebody, it would just wreck them. You know what I mean? Like if you're in the corner, and we were going straight there, and I hit him square, and it just shot his car around. So if that was my fault, like I said, I apologized. But yeah, I don't. He doesn't know, and I don't know. But obviously, the field is gonna go quick to point fingers like they always do, and they're gonna blame me. And yeah, but if it was my fault, which it looked like it was, so I'm sorry about that. But I don't know. It was really weird as I barely got to his bumper and it hooked him. But yeah, the rest of the race it was gridlocked and it was really fun. But me and Bryce were together and we are just trying to make moves anywhere we can, and anytime we would, it was the wrong moves. And at the end there, everyone just kind of came together and we all wrecked. So I think I got an X for about every wreck that happened tonight, so that sucked as I only deserved a 4X. But yeah.
Well, of course, we have a huge day of Daytona Speed Weeks. The busiest day of Speed Weeks is actually your first ever FedEx busiest day of Speed Weeks on the Friday. Of course, we start off with Cup Series final practice for the 500, then the truck race, then of course the Grand National season opener here in Daytona. I mean, what are your thoughts for tomorrow and all that action?
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I've never ran a full I've never ran the full schedule of a FedEx league. Joined way past halfway last season, and I know I'm not called a rookie for the season, but yeah, I hope to have a good first season in my books.
All right, Maxwell, nice job. Still in the run tonight, and we'll see you, of course, starting off Daytona 500 final practice tomorrow.
Yeah, there, man.
All right, coming up next, going to be Cameron Chandler. Or no, he's down. All right. Coming up next, Andrew Stacy. Andrew Stacy, you guys finished 11th here in Daytona. It looked like you could just never get anything rolling on the outside throughout the pack here tonight. Ultimately, average finish P11 got involved, I think, in the wreck there at the end. Just take me through that final lap.
All right, so I went outside. Car went four wide. I get doored. I get killed. But CJ Erdman, my co-owner, my part owner of the team, Question Motorsports, wins the race in pure dominant form. He beat him over by a tenth by Matthew White. We were really good all race. You know, just sucks we had people killing the run. Knox Thompson. Anyways, yeah, it was fun for a bit. I like the new model, the drafting of this car. It was a lot of fun. Also, Aiden Hall should get an interview. You guys skip past him. That's all right.
All right. Well, coming up next, of course, you have so much action tomorrow night. The busiest day of Speed Weeks. What race between Grand National and trucks are you feeling most confident in?
Obviously the Grand National Series. I mean, I've always ran better in that car. I've heard some rumors the trucks are a bit bad at Daytona this year, so we'll have to figure that out tomorrow night. But yeah, I think definitely my strong suit will be the Grand National Series.
All right, Andrew. We'll see you all in all that action tomorrow night. All right, coming up next is going to be some of the more bottom finishers. Aiden Holt. Actually, Aiden Holt, we forgot to interview him. He finished 5th. Aiden Holt, pretty good day for you guys. You finished in P5 here at Daytona. So top 5 finish. Obviously chaotic there at the end. All the cars wrecking at the end. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you guys made it through.
Oh yeah, we made it. Well, kinda. We kind of chopped Bryce at the end there because we hit the back of Christian Herculots, got sent up to the back of Bryce Benton or the front of Bryce Benton. So, you know, that's not the it's not the greatest thing to do, but you know, I probably would have had a chance at a better finish than where I was, but you know, Knox Thompson decided to be Knox Thompson and not push me. So, you know, grass is green, sky is blue. Knox Thompson's a fucking idiot. So that's how it's been the past couple weeks.
All right, well, of course, we got all the action coming up tomorrow night for Cup final practice, the truck race, the Grand National race. What race are you feeling most confident in? Of course, also including the Season 5 Daytona 500 on Saturday.
Well, I think I'm good in the trucks here. I don't know if I'll be racing the Xfinity race. We might be out testing at Millbridge. So, you know, we're hopefully going to be there for the Xfinity race. We're feeling really confident for Cup. You know, CJ's been helping me a lot with Gen 4 drafting and stuff like that. Congrats to him on the win as well for tonight. Him and Andrew really been helping me with the Gen 4 because it threw me for a loop at the beginning of the season. Nothing else really. It's just went a weird couple weeks past because I didn't know I was running Cup till about 2 days before Eli for the thing closed. So
All right, well, we'll see you in the on-track action tomorrow night here in Speed Weeks.
I appreciate it.
Coming up next, got a few more to go. It's going to be, who is it? Jeremiah Gottlieb finishes 16th. Jeremiah Gottlieb, you guys finished in 16th place tonight, a lap down. It just wasn't meant to be for you guys. You had big damage on your race car, just trying to get out of the way there again at the end. But ultimately, what happened to take you guys out of contention for the race? The crash we saw when you guys were trying to run single file.
I was just trying to help out my QM teammates, really. We were all trying to catch up to that lead pack, and I learned first lap, turn 1, you get no warning on if the guy in front of you is going to be wrecking off your front bumper, as I did that to the number 1 car, Zane. I forget who's subbing in for him. But, you know, that was bad luck within itself. I somehow was able to stay up within the pack until someone checked up real big up front, which made me lose the draft. I tried holding on as best as I could, but hey, I mean, I'll take a 16th. Really happy for CJ. That was a heck of a win for him. I mean, and for all of QM. I mean, I give my biggest congratulations to him.
Well, of course, we got all the Grand National action, the Truck Series action coming up tomorrow night. Of course, you're full-time in Grand National. You're also doing the Daytona 500, obviously. So how do you think you can start off your Grand National season in the right direction tomorrow in Daytona?
I honestly just do the opposite of what I did here. I might just kind of play it cool until the end. To be honest, my super speedway driving is not the best, and it doesn't help that my internet doesn't co-align with that. But apparently I've found something out here with qualifying here. Third here, and I qualified pole yesterday in the duels. So clearly I must have found something out.
All right, well, of course, we'll see you tomorrow night for the on-track action during Speed Weeks Day 5.
Thank you, and let's hope Knox Thompson's not as big of a terrorist as he was tonight.
All right. Some strong words there, of course. As always, your post-race. My God. Christian Erklot's up next, finished 17th. Or he's gone. All right, never mind. Couple more to go. We have Lindsey, Tomlin, and Piper. They all finished towards the back. Coming up next, going to be Brandon Piper, finished 19th. Brandon Piper, unfortunate DNF here in Daytona in the ARCA iCar race. So we saw you wreck in the back. I believe it was with Ethan McMillan. What happened ultimately to take you guys out?
Well, his engine detonated. I mean, I wish we can pay a bit better attention to our gauges so that doesn't happen, but you know, you run with the dogs, you get fleas.
Well, of course, how do you think you're going to be able to do tomorrow night? Of course, you got Cup Series final practice for the Daytona 500, the Grand National race, and the truck race, and maybe to try to redeem yourself on this one.
I do like the Xfinity car at the super speedway, so I feel like I can lead some laps and try and put up a good run. Try and recreate Talladega from last season because I know we were close to winning that one. So maybe tomorrow let's actually get it done.
All right, Brandon, we'll see you tomorrow night in the on-track action for the busiest day of Speed Weeks.
Yeah. See ya.
was Piper. All right, coming up next, gonna be Pace and Lindsay. Pace and Lindsay, you guys ran really well tonight, just unfortunately a DNF and ultimately outside the top 20 for the finishing results. So take me through what happened to get you guys out of this race.
Yeah, we just kind of tried to run conservative today. Didn't really ever really get up there until there was like a half wreck and we were up there pushing with Andrew and I believe it was Jeremiah Gauntly or Christian Herklotz, one of the two. And then when we got up there, Andrew nearly got turned because this car's really, really weird with pushing. If you slightly push them wrong, they'll go around. So when Andrew got a push, it just shot him around. I tried to avoid it. And then it was either Herklotz or Gauntly came off the wall and destroyed my right front. So just not a lot we could do. We were trying to stay in the back and kind of be conservative, but once I realized that we were going to be out of the draft, kind of had to push a little bit. So yeah, we just tried to push a little bit there. Probably should have just stayed in the back of the pack. I kind of cleared myself to get in line third on the bottom there. So if I wouldn't have done that, we would have been in the back and safe from that wreck. But it is what it is, and we'll go learn in the next 3 races coming up and hopefully get ourselves some win or two.
Yeah, of course, busiest day of Speed Weeks coming up tomorrow night. I believe it is your 4th busiest day of Speed Weeks in your career. So how is your confidence level for these 2 races and then, of course, Cup Series practice?
Yeah, for the Xfinity race, we always have really, really good speed there, and then we get wrecked in like the last 20 laps or something goes wrong. So hopefully we kind of break that cycle, but it's happened the last 2 or 3 Xfinity Daytona races. And then in the Truck Series, we had really, really good speed last time, but had internet problems. And in the previous one, we were in a photo finish with Matt Grab. So definitely watch out for us in the truck race. That's one of my best cars at Super Speedways. And the Xfinity race, if things go right, hopefully we can be up front.
All right, Pace and Mobile, of course, we'll see you tomorrow night in the on-track action.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, Pace and Lindsay, one more to go tonight, Eli Tomlin. Eli Tomlin, unfortunately, you guys, of course, were running really well tonight, and then, unfortunately, you had that incident. I heard some reports that your screen went completely dark and you couldn't see. That's why that happened. Is that true?
Oh my gosh, man, that was absolutely it. That was, man, I don't know what I got to do to get a little bit of luck around here. We started 14th. We had the lead by lap 2. Everything was going to plan, man. I mean, the speed's been there. And then game screen goes black. All I can hear is the engine. Next thing you know, I'm back in and I'm in the wall. So just heartbreaking, man.
Yeah, of course, but still, like you said, really good speed shown so far throughout Speed Weeks. Obviously, nearly winning your duel. Got turned there, unfortunately, leading here in Daytona. Gets turned here with those issues with your monitor or whatever. But I mean, we got a big day of Speed Weeks coming up tomorrow night. The busiest day of Speed Weeks, of course, where we have the Truck Series race, Cup Final Practice, and of course the Grand National race. You guys think you can maybe turn your luck around?
Man, like I said, I don't know. I mean, I found something at these super speedway tracks with side drafting where I feel like tomorrow's going to be the same deal. I'm going to start. I'm not great at qualifying. I'll start towards the back. I'm going to get back up to the lead. It's just finding a way to stabilize and not have something go wrong, whether it's getting wrecked coming to the finish line or whether it's having internet issues for the first time in any FedEx League race. So I don't know, man. If the speed's there, we just gotta put a full race together.
All right, Eli. Well, still nice job of the run tonight, and we will see you tomorrow night for the busiest day of Speed Weeks.
Yes, sir, Ethan. Hey, you have a good night as always, bro.
You too. All right. Well, that will do it for the iCar Pro Series race here in Daytona. What a finish. Big congratulations, of course, to C.J. Ehrman on the victory. Second career win for him in iCar, of course, comes together with the ARCA win as well. And that will do it for us tonight. Of course, Day 4 of Speed Weeks is over, and tomorrow night, like we've mentioned all night long, it's the busiest day of Speed Weeks. It all starts off at 6 p.m. Eastern Time with Cup Series final practice for the Daytona 500. Then we go to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We go for the truck race here at Daytona, that 50-lap event. And then, of course, right after the truck race, immediately right after, is going to be the Grand National Series season opener here from the World Center of Racing. Such a huge packed night of action coming up tomorrow, and it all starts off with Cup Series final practice for the Daytona 500. So, you don't want to miss any of it. It's all going to be live on the channel. and all going to be all night long. So that'll do it for iCar. We hope you enjoyed, and we will see you live for the busiest day of Speed Weeks tomorrow night at Daytona International Speedway. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow.